Hey guys, Alex from Central Florida Enthusiast, and I gotta let you guys know just how ambitious RMZ Gwazi truly is. And the only way I can really do that is to give you a full history of Busch Gardens. So in the 1950s, Busch Gardens opened up as a beer garden for Anheuser-Busch. And that was always meant to be the attraction. It was supposed to be the brewery, really. And it wasn't until the 60s where they really started to expand. In the 60s, they actually really started to get more ambitious. They actually opened up the Serengeti, which was actually the largest habitat for African animals outside of Africa. So essentially, given the fact that most zoos have African animals as like their primary, that's basically like saying they were the largest zoo in the world, outside of Africa, obviously. But that was a big deal. So suddenly they became a zoo with a brewery. And then 1971, a little guy, may have heard of him. His name might have heard it. Walt Disney. Well, he opened up a little park. I'm sorry, I can't keep this. Walt Disney World opened. They needed to stay relevant. So they added Stanley River Flume, which was their first thrill ride. And that helped them a little bit. And then 3 years later, in 1976, they added Python, which unfortunately is no longer standing to this day, but that was the first looping coaster, the first inverse roller coaster to go upside down in Florida, which was actually a pretty big deal. And then in 1980, they opened up Scorpion. And then they went for 13 years without adding anything because, well, they were pretty much getting crushed by Disney. Nothing bad against them. It's just Busch Gardens was, they weren't used to competition. They were used to being the number one, or at the very least close to being number one. When Disney came, there just was no competition. It's hard to survive. So they let Disney pretty much expand throughout the 80s. And Busch Gardens pretty much focused on the animals because that was the one thing they had that at the time was different. And then in 1993, they noticed, hey, Disney's marking some of these rides as thrill rides, but they're more or less really good family rides. Let's have a roller coaster go upside down 7 times. It's been done before, but it hasn't been done here in Florida. So they built Kumba, which is still to this day my favorite coaster in Florida. And that really put them on the map for roller coaster enthusiasts, because suddenly now there's a park in Florida that is actually getting some crazy coasters. They have never seen anything like this in Florida. So Busch Gardens, pretty much high off of the success of Kumba, almost immediately gets back to work with B&M to build Montu, which is still considered by so many people to be the best inverted roller coaster in the world. And that ride was a massive success. So now they have a top 2, and oh boy, is it a good one. Let's see if we can make it 3. Let's have the 3 Musketeers, the 3 best roller coasters in the world, because at the time there really wasn't too terribly much that was actually considered to be good. By today's standards, Kumba was like the first real glimpse of what modern post computer designed roller coasters could feel like. B&M was one of the first, and Vekoma was the first company to do it, but B&M was the first to successfully do it. And by successfully, I mean the rides were actually very well loved by many people. They were smooth, they were fast, they were intense. Nothing beats an old school B&M, even by today's standards. And they started blowing up, B&M. So when it came time to finally decide where the third Musketeer, Gwazi, is gonna go, well, in 1995, the Anheuser-Busch brewery actually closed. So they decided, let's replace this thing, the thing that our entire park was named after, let's replace it with this coaster. Seems like a fitting spot. It's a very historic spot. It's essentially what this park was built after. And now we're changing directions to Florida's Thrill Park, which has done them well. Quite well, actually. We'll go along with that in another video. They end up adding Gwazi in its place. And when Gwazi opened up in 1999, it got mixed reviews. Some people loved it. I actually loved it. It was a great ride. Very forceful, very intense ride. Very whippy ride. But it was undeniably a very rough ride. So Busch Gardens tried to do everything in their power to make this ride good. So they retracted in 2007. I believe it was 2007. And then in 2011, they gave it Millennium Flyer trains to hopefully make it a little bit more comfy. And that did okay. But it was still undeniably very rough. It's still to this day the roughest coaster I've ridden. Granted, I haven't ridden many rough rides, or at least many rides I consider rough. That was a ride I consider rough. So 2015, the height of the RMC boom, or at least the height of the RMC hype, they announced Gwazi shutting down. We all thought it was RMC. And it sat there for 4 years. And it finally got to the point where, like, look, they literally haven't even touched it in 4 years. They haven't maintained it. If anything, they've only taken from it. They've actually taken wood from Gwazi and used it for Howl-O-Scream, actually. True fact. And then they sent the Millennium Flyer trains to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for Invader. And of course that got some of the rumors stirring again. And then Twisted Tigers happened. They trademarked that name. And everyone was like, oh my god, that's such an RMC name. That's it, RMC's confirmed. No, it's no. Busch Gardens, they like to trademark 3 names at a time, and then they'll choose which name, and then they'll just let the other trademarks go vacant, and then they can reactivate it if they ever want to use it. But and those trademarks, Twisted Tiger and Uproar, have both gone dormant. And then finally they announced that that Gwazi is happening, and this is a real thing. And then this Thursday, we believe that they're going to be announcing the name of Gwazi, and they're going to be announcing hopefully the layout. Hopefully we get that revealed. That would be awesome. But if not, I understand. Keep teasing us a little bit more. There actually is a layout prediction that I believe is actually 99% true. That's Air Boss. That's the guy's channel. Check him out, by the way. Shout out to Air Boss. He posted a layout, an updated layout, and everything in his layout actually matches with all of the teaser clips Busch Gardens has given us. That thing looks nuts. Absolutely insane. This is going to be one of the best roller coasters in the world, and Busch Gardens is finally getting the ride they have always needed. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you aren't already. If you already are, please don't forget, hit that bell notification if you want to stay up to date. Let me know what you think of Gwazi in the comment section down below. And shoot up a like if you like the video. Dislike if you don't. Anyways, guys, this is Alex, Central Florida Enthusiast, checking out. Bye.